Hi, this is Team Inabrehem. I'm Vineet Trivedi, and along with my teammate Shail Shah, we have created a project for a database management systems course titled Bhuk. Problem statement. For a restaurant, it is important for its customers to be able to book a table remotely so that they don't have to wait when they come in. This will lead to greater customer satisfaction and in turn more customers and revenue for the restaurant. Our proposed solution. Bhuk, a Hindi word that means hunger. It is a platform that connects restaurant goers to restaurants. Customers are able to search for restaurants, read about them and their reviews, book a table, and be able to leave feedback. A receptionist at a restaurant can assign and deassign tables to customers. The manager of a restaurant can gain some insight into his or her restaurant by being able to see statistics of the table requests to make smarter business decisions. Architecture and tech stack. We have created a console application using Java Spring Boot. Our system consists of the following parts: MySQL as the relational database management system hosted on AWS. Hibernate to provide object relational mapping. Data model which maps to the tables in MySQL. Repositories which perform CRUD operations. Service layer which interacts with the repositories to provide a higher level of abstraction. Driver which acts as a front end, interacting with the user and the service layer to drive the application. Data model. Users. Each user has login and personal information except for anonymous users. A user can be created by a customer, the admin, or the manager. There are 5 types of users in the system. Roles will be assigned according to the user's type. Customer. A customer is a person that views restaurants, reads restaurant information, adds a restaurant to his or her favorites, views his or her favorite restaurants, requests to book a table at a restaurant, leaves reviews for a restaurant. Receptionist. A receptionist works at a restaurant under a manager. He or she views the active table requests for the restaurant, assigns a table to a customer and his or her party, frees a table after the customer leaves and the table is cleaned. Manager. A restaurant manager can gain some insight into his or her restaurant by being able to see KPIs to make smarter business decisions. He or she views the number of table requests made on the platform for any given month and year. Views all the table requests ever made. Hires or let goes receptionists. Admin. An admin manages the restaurant on Bhuk. He or she performs CRUD operations on all 3 of the above types of users. Performs CRUD operations on restaurants. Anonymous users. An anonymous user is a customer that is not logged in yet. He or she views restaurants, reads restaurant information and reviews. Domain objects. There are 5 domain objects in the system. Restaurant. A restaurant has a name, address, phone number, reviews, and tables. It is managed by a manager and has at least one receptionist. Table. A table belongs to a restaurant. A table can be booked by a request. Review. A restaurant has multiple reviews given by customers. Customers can add more reviews and view existing ones. Table request. A request is made by a user to book a table at a restaurant. Favorites. A user has a list of favorite restaurants.
The application. It's a Maven clean Spring Boot run command which cleans the directory and starts the Spring Boot application. So we will download all the necessary dependencies and then use them for our application. So let's just wait for this to load. Awesome. So I have preloaded the application with 4 types of users: the admin, the manager, the receptionist, and the customer. So before logging in, let's try to do something as an anonymous user. So let's press 4 and let's search for the city Boston. So we can see that we get two results over here. Let's select the first one and we get information about the Boston Burger Company. As an anonymous user, I can view restaurant details. I can see the address and the phone number. I can see the reviews. I can see that there is one review left by Dan. But if I wanted to write a review, I would need to log in as a customer first. Similarly, I cannot book a table or add a restaurant to my favorites as they ask for a login credential for doing so. So let's exit from here and let's log in as a customer. So Dan is a customer and let's take a look at his profile. So Dan's full name is Dan Doper and his email address is dan@dan.com and he's a customer. So let's try updating the profile. Let's just change the name to Dame and let's keep everything as it is. So I changed the first name and the username over here. So if we exit from here, we can see that the name has been changed to Dame. Okay, so let's try to search for a restaurant. So let's press 2 and let's again enter the city as Boston and let's select the first one. Okay, so now let's try writing a review. So let's say that this is a great place to dine. I will be back soon. Now, if we want to read the reviews, we can press 2 and we can see that a new review has been added. Okay, we can also add this restaurant to our favorites by pressing 4 and we can also book a table. So let's press 5. We can see that table number 1 has been booked. So let's exit from here. Now let's log in as an employee of Boston Burger Company. So an employee can either be a receptionist or a manager. So let's log in as a manager. Let's log out from here and let's log in as a manager. Bob is a manager at Boston Burger Company, and since Dame booked a table in this restaurant, Bob can view the booking over here. So we can see that table number 1 is occupied, and if it happens that a party comes to the restaurant and wants to book immediately on the spot, Bob has the power to reserve a table for them. So Bob can just press 2 to assign a table and the system searches for a free table and marks it as occupied. Now if we view all the tables, we can see that table number 1 and 2 are occupied. Now if a party is done with their meal and leaves, Bob can then deassign the table and the table is free for use for other parties. So let's press 3 and let's select a table. Let's select the second one and we can see that table 2 is now free. So if we press 1 again, we can see that table 2 is free. Okay, and just like Dame, Bob can also update or delete his profile. Let's log out from here and let's log in as yet another employee at Boston Burger Company. So let's press 1 and let's now log in as Alice. Okay, so Alice is a manager at Boston Burger Company, and as a manager manages his or her receptionists, and Alice has the power to hire or fire the receptionist. And Alice also has the power to view all the bookings that were ever made, and Alice can do so by month or by year or view all of them at once. So for simplicity, let's just select 1 for now, and we can see that Dame Doper booked table number 1 on 9th of December 2018. Okay, awesome. Now let's press 6 and see all the receptionists that are managed under Alice. We can see that Alice manages Bob and Charlie. So let's try adding a new receptionist by pressing 4. We can hire a new one. Let's just hire, let's say Ed. Ed. Okay, and now let's view all the receptionists. So we can see that a new receptionist has been added. Now let's say that Ed does not perform up to the mark and needs to be fired. So let's press 5 and fire Ed, number 3. Now if we view the receptionists again, we can see that Ed no longer works for Alice. Awesome. So now let's log out. And now let's log in as the last type of user, which is an admin. So let's log in as an admin. Okay. So admin has the power to do CRUD operations on all types of users and can also do CRUD operations on restaurants. So let's view all the users. We can see that these are the users in the database currently, including admin. Let's view all the restaurants. These are the 2 restaurants preloaded in the database. Now let's try to add a restaurant using the Yelp Fusion API. So if we press 10, we can search for a restaurant term. So let's say pizza, and let's select the city to be New York City. Using the API, Yelp Fusion API, we can see that we got 10 results over here, and we can select any restaurant we want to add to our database. So let's select number 4, Prince Street Pizza, and let's view the restaurants again. So we can see that Prince Street Pizza has been added to our database, and we can see the address and the phone number associated with the restaurant. Nice. Now we can also create a new admin, create a new customer, create a manager, create a receptionist, and we can also delete a user. So let's do that. Let's say we want to delete Alice. I know that the ID of Alice is 2. So let's see what happens. When we view all the users, we no longer see Alice in our list of users. However, we should still be able to see the restaurant that was managed by Alice. And we do indeed see Boston Burger Company over here. Let's log out. So that was a quick demo of our application. Feel free to hit us up with any questions or concerns. Thank you.